Entrepreneur's Enigma is a podcast for the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. So the wins and the fails that we all face being entrepreneurs, how we learn from adversity. Every week I talk to a different entrepreneur with a story to tell. I'm Seth Goldstein. Come with me on the journey. This is Entrepreneur's Enigma. Let's get started. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneur's Enigma podcast. I am, as always, your host, Seth. Today, I have Natalie Guzman on the show. She's a virtual assistant, but she owns a virtual assistant agency. She is the head of a marketing networking conglomerate, I guess you'll call it, called Nadora. I hope I said that correctly. She's very prolific on TikTok. I was watching your TikTok prior to this show, and it was very enjoyable, very TikTok-y. And she's based down in Florida, and it all started, the entrepreneurial journey, in 2015 when her jackass bosses said that she had 2 days to give birth. Pause on that for a second there. And had to go back to work. So she said, F you, pretty much. She said, that's ridiculous. I kind of understand that. And she took control of her situation, started her own virtual assistant business, which let her work from home, earn money, and do it the way she wanted to. Damn straight. Love that. Her business grew quickly. Within 3 months, it was making over 6 figures. Whoa! Hot shot. I love that. That's great. Mine was a little slower when I started my business. And then she didn't stop there. She expanded her entrepreneurial endeavors and now owns Nadora, a software company that helps businesses easily create websites, emails, automations without having to spend hundreds of bucks on multiple systems and platforms. So that's really cool. She manages and balances her life and successful career with her personal life. She has a family down in Southwest Florida, hopefully avoiding all these hurricanes. And she travels the world, hopefully, avoiding these hurricanes, giving speaking engagements on what she does. So, Natalie, how's it going?
Oh man, I'm laughing back here because we do not avoid the hurricanes. We move every 2 years in Florida, and I just happen to be in every path of the hurricane for the last 3 hurricanes starting with the letter I.
Were you in Fort Myers?
Yeah, so
No!
Yeah, so we got hit by Irma. I was living in Sebring, and so that was a hurricane category 5 right through my backyard. Yeah, and I had a 1-week-old and a 1-year-old Seth at that time. So
wow, you're a glutton for punishment. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
It doesn't get a lot of hurricanes. So you kind of moved into Hurricane Central. And then in Hurricane Central, picked the Hurricane Central in Hurricane Central.
Yeah, and then we moved every 2 years. And then we were in Arcadia, which was like Punta Gorda when Ian hit. So my office was completely destroyed. Our town was surrounded by 17 feet of water. We were an island in this little town.
It's kind of tragic, but neat because it's kind of like when I were on an island for a few days.
Yeah, they had boats and people delivering food and things like that. Yeah, it was
crazy.
And
why are you still in Florida?
Yeah, this is where we moved more north, like central north. We're not going to get.
It would follow you.
Yeah, I go with my husband. So my husband's job moves us around every 2 years. So we don't choose it. Our job chooses it for us. So, yeah, it stinks, but we went to Central Florida. We're not going to get hit. We're nowhere near water. And then this newest hurricane came along, but luckily we didn't get hit too bad, but we were in the path.
Down. What was the one, Cecily?
It started with an I.
Oh yeah. Who knows?
It was Adalia. Hurricane Adalia.
Oh yeah. An exotic hurricane hit you. So, go figure. Oh yeah. So I guess you're used to it by now. You're saying all right, hurricane's coming. We got to do X, Y, and Z. Kids are
just buy a few extra chocolate bars.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's that?
Buy a few extra chocolate bars and you're good to go.
Yeah, I guess if you're used to it. I mean, you never get really used to hurricanes, but I'm in Philly and we get hurricanes every now and then, and we're like, it's an event.
Yeah.
It's not like Florida where it's like, all right, you get in line, you queue up. It's kind of orderly because you're just used to it. Philly, it's like all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
I mean, during the pandemic, this is everywhere, but everyone went after toilet paper. Go figure.
They do that during hurricanes. Water, toilet paper, and bread.
I can understand. You need to wipe your butt. So
yeah,
I get it. We went there, everybody. We went there. No, we want to. So anyhow, let's talk about your journey. So before the show, we were talking about how this a holy company gave you 2 days to give birth. Was this your first kid?
This was my first kid, and we were high risk. We had lost multiple children before
Oh.
this one. And so
And then their jackass is enough to say you
yeah.
2 days. Oh, screw you.
And they were mad I waited till I was in the safe zone as well. Because, I had lost multiple. So I didn't tell everyone this time around until I was in the safe zone. My doctor said it was okay to tell people. And then I told the job and they're like, well, you should have told us earlier. You have 2 days to give birth and then you have to go back to work.
Huh. Well, but karma's a bitch, or karma's a
Yeah.
wonderful thing because they're now bankrupt. Serves them
They went
right.
bankrupt. Yep.
Karma, love it. So then you went out on your own and started. So what made you do virtual assistants, the virtual assistant thing? If that's
Yeah,
the
so
word.
I always say that my whole life started with a Google search because
Oh,
I just Google searched jobs that I can work from home, right? As a new
yeah.
mom and a baby, like it really put me in perspective. Like I knew that this was a very high risk pregnancy, that my daughter might be born with a lot of health complications and
Oh,
things like that. So I was like, man, I was trying to rearrange my life with 2 weeks off. Now I quit the job. I want to be at home with this child, and that's what I want
yeah.
to
Now you
do.
can make your own decisions. Damn it. Yeah,
Exactly. That was my biggest thing. I want to be in control of how I make money. I don't want anyone else to be able to put my family in risk like that. And she
that's
was born
ridiculous.
only at
Yeah.
2 pounds, Seth. So she was
Oh
a tiny,
wow, my kid was a 4 pounder, so I didn't know
yeah,
2 pounder. Wow. How's she
yeah.
now?
And then she is amazing. We have a little bit of complications with her health. But besides that,
But
she's
two
in
pounds. I mean, come on. Not everything's developed, so they have to develop later. So it's like, yeah.
yeah, we got
I mean,
really lucky
my
compared to
kid was a
most
four
babies.
pounder. My kid was 6 weeks early. I mean, yours was clearly much earlier.
Yeah.
And
Well,
he,
I
you
also had
go,
a condition. So they
oh,
stopped growing at 30 weeks. And so even if
oh
she
no.
was born, I think 8 weeks early. And even then, if she was only at like 30 weeks. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But she's like strong. I mean, but watch, she's probably strong as an ox with minus a few
She's a
health complications.
flyer. She's that little
And she's
girl on the
probably
top of the
stubborn too.
pyramid.
And so,
Yeah.
wait, so is she really tall now?
No, she's tiny, so that makes
Oh,
her a flyer. So the girls at the top of the pyramid in cheerleading that get thrown and tossed everywhere, that's my daughter. 7 years old.
that's terrifying. I mean, like,
Yeah.
like, do you know how much it went you put me through to get you here? And they've been tossed around. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you liked my TikTok, Seth? I have a TikTok on it. You'll enjoy that one.
I'll have
So
to check that one out. But my goodness, 'cause my kid was 6 weeks early, 4 pounds
Mhm.
9 ounces. Of course, they drop weight, which is they always drop weight when they come out. Surgery at 2 weeks, 2 days because he had bowel obstruction.
Yeah.
I mean, a CHOP, Children's Hospital of Philadelphia is amazing. I mean, he's like, for those who are watching the video, he was like this big, and they
Mhm.
managed to reconnect his intestine. He's now almost 11. Eh, tallish, not too tall. Like I mean, his mom's short, so go figure. He's not gonna be the tallest it is, but strong, stubborn, hard headed,
Yeah.
really smart, but hard headed. I mean, I feel like these preemies. I mean, is your daughter really a hard head? Like, oh my God, where did you get the stubbornness from?
Yeah, she is super independent. I call her my sassy Latina because she's half Puerto Rican, and that's
Oh no, God! So
exactly
you were in
describes
trouble
it.
before you even had her.
Yeah.
Oh no! So she's a preemie and a Puerto Rican. Nothing is Puerto
Yeah.
Rican, but they're sassy. I have friends that have. I'm getting myself in trouble right now. Oh yeah, but my friend has 3 daughters, and they're all sassy.
Yeah.
They all got the Latina sass, and it's like, and they, one's like an executive at a marketing agency running everything. And she's like 23. It's like, oh my
Mhm.
God, strong willed. So anyhow, back to you, off our kids, which just kind of happens. But so you started the virtual assistant for businesses, for entrepreneurs, and for executives.
Yeah.
And then so you said within 3 months you were like killing it. We're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show.
Yeah, so I started out just working by myself. So I was just kind of helping, a lot of my clients here and there. And it started out kind of slow, like most businesses.
Yeah, they all
But
do.
then I was like, I really started understanding it. So I started doing this for a year, so a VA by myself. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn this into an agency. I want employees. I want tons of clients. I want to turn this into a six-figure business. And so I started my agency, and we hit six figures in 3 months. I got seven, and these were all new clients. These weren't all my clients I was working before. So I got
Wow.
7 clients in a week. Most of them were like 20 to 40 hours a week. And so I had to hire. I had never been a
You
manager.
needed
I'd
at that
never been
point.
a
You needed to be an
supervisor.
agency. You needed to be an agency. That's what happened with Cold See Me. I was doing it all myself, and I'm like, if I want to grow this damn thing, I gotta get more people.
It
And
has to be
we're
more
all
than
contractors with each other, but like, still, it's like they mostly work with me because it's like I'm throwing them the most business.
yeah.
That's insane. So you did that. You're doing that for a while, and then what is Nadora?
Yeah, so Nodora is really cool. So not only is it basically an all-in-one software where you can create everything for the back end of your business, your automations, your calendars, your websites, your funnels, everything kind
Wow.
of in one place, which is super cool. But we also have a really great networking community, and we have educational courses, and we have a membership directory as well. So it's
Wow.
really built to be that one-stop shop for businesses.
And that started in January of this year. This is
Yes.
2023. For those who are listening way late, which I think most people hear this in 2023. But and how's it going so far?
Is amazing. So we went in the green within 1 month. So that was pretty exciting. So I
Wow.
actually have only been in the red maybe 2 months with all my businesses. So that's
Oh, hot
something I really
shot.
pride myself on.
Oh my
Yeah. So
god. I
it's
mean, and that's for a for you mean like for those who don't know, like being in the red is kind of a badge of courage because you are. I mean, you put things on credit cards, you
Mhm.
bootstrap stuff. You're gonna be in the red for a while, and then when you're in the black or the green or whatever, you you're not as reliant on the credit cards as much, which is really a great feeling, and so that's awesome. So, in your
Yeah.
opinion, since you did the jackassy business beforehand, and now
Yeah.
you're on your own, what is the best thing about being an entrepreneur? I think we kind of highlighted that, but
I think the best part, so another thing on my family side is my husband is in law enforcement. So he works
ooh,
insane hours. He gets called in last minute. When those hurricanes, I was alone with all these babies during these hurricanes because my husband has to be at work.
it needs to be out
So
in the field, yeah.
yeah, well, he actually works. So we're on the prison side of law enforcement. So he's
Okay.
an assistant warden of a
Oh,
prison. But sometimes if that warden's not around, he's acting warden. So he'll
oh,
be in charge of
jeez.
a whole prison by himself. It's and that was really hard because and we're moving every 2 years. So how am I going to have a job that I
Mhm.
can excuse moving around all the time? And so that's one of my best things about entrepreneurship is I can take my kids to all their sports. I can take off for doctor's appointments. I can, do my husband's errands when he needs them done and work them into my schedule. And I've learned not to work in my business, work on my business, because when
Yeah,
I was working with clients, I would get overwhelmed. My schedule is no longer my own. Now that I have
yeah.
the staff to do it for me, I can now, I have more control over my schedule, and it's
Isn't that
amazing.
great? So what keeps you up at night though, besides your kids?
Oh, supply and demand 24/7. I
Yeah.
think it's something that never goes away. You
Yeah.
can never completely solve it. And so it's always, I'm either needing more clients or I need more employees. I kind of have a really good
Wow,
system where I don't worry about it as much, but
that's
it
awesome.
still keeps me up at night.
So are they all full-timers? Are they part-timers, or how's it
I have a
work?
mix. So my core team are W-2 employees and they are full time. And then
Ooh,
I have about like 60 contractors that I can kind
wow.
of call on at any time. It's been around since 2015. So I like to say I'm a
Yeah,
dinosaur in VA years because most virtual
yeah,
assistants didn't start until the pandemic. So
yeah, exactly. So you're an OG. You're an
yeah, I'm an
OG.
OG.
There you go. That's awesome. So what is the most important thing to carry with you all the time besides your phone? 'Cause I mean, I know you need your phone because it's like you run your whole business.
Oh, it is. Okay, but my phone charger, does that count, Seth?
You need your phone charger because you're always on the phone, but absolutely. When you're running a virtual assistant business, virtual
Yeah,
assistantship. I don't know why I'm coming up with these words today, but
that's
anyhow, when you're doing that and you're running your other business, you constantly have to be on. So,
Yeah, and water. I think water is another thing. Just making
oh
sure
my
I'm taking
God,
care
that's
of
underrated.
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, water is amazing. And like if you put a Celsius packet in there, whew, you're all
You're
set to
off to
go.
the
It's
races. Off to
amazing.
the races. Exactly.
Yeah.
But what about internal? Like, what do you carry with you internally?
What do you mean by internally?
Like metaphysically.
Okay. Do you mean like how I feel in the
Yeah.
business? Okay.
What? Like, yeah. Like,
I
because
get a
you have two
rush.
kids. What's
I
that?
think I'm always on a rush. I'm always thinking of the next thing and the
Oh,
newest
that's awesome.
technology and the newest software. So, like business for me, I'm not addicted to really anything, but probably business. I am addicted to because they always say everyone's addicted to something. Mine's probably books and business. And so for me,
Wow.
it's like a rush. Yeah.
I love it. I mean, I love my business. I love doing it. I completely agree. Sometimes it's a little much. I have to peel myself away and say like, look, I need to take a break.
Yeah.
And at least you're able to do your business while your kids are at soccer or
Mhm.
cheerleading, being thrown. Probably have to be working on your business so you don't freak out.
Yeah, so luckily I've been trying to be more present around my kids so they notice when I'm on my phone. So I try not to work while they're doing
Here's
those things.
everything.
Yeah, my son yesterday was like, "Mom, I'm very upset." And I was like, "Why? You had a really good practice." And he goes, "You didn't wave to me."
Oh,
I was helping other kids at baseball. So I was like, "You know what? Next time I'm going to sit on the bleachers. I'm going to watch you. I'm going to wave. I'm going to scream and you'll get sick of me."
oh, how old's your kid?
He's 6.
Aw. And
Yeah.
there's 7-year-olds being thrown from pyramids.
Yep, yep. And he's hitting fastballs. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sports kids here.
Yeah, they're very athletic. My son, especially. My daughter really wasn't as much, but
Well,
she
it's a
fell in love
baby.
with cheerleading.
It's still just as terror terrifying for the
Yeah.
parent. It's like because she's so small, you think like, okay, she'll be safe. No, she's being thrown off of human pyramids.
Yeah, and
That's
you
a
have to and other 7-year-olds are the one that are catching her and supporting her and being her spots. And so you have to put your trust in all those 7-year-olds to keep your daughter safe.
ah!
Yeah, that's the
That's
terrifying part.
terrifying. Oh my god. All right, so Natalie, where is your major watering hole online? Where do you hang out the most?
Oh, probably TikTok. You were watching my TikToks. It's very TikTokity, as you said. I
Yeah, I
love
love
it
it.
because I not only talk about business, but I'm always talking about my life. And I feel like that's one side of entrepreneurship is that
Yeah.
we need to make sure we're talking about our life and not just the business side. So it's Natalie Guzman on TikTok.
Yeah, yeah, but it's
Yeah.
Natalie Guzman.
Yeah.
It's Natalie Guzman. Double it's double, words there. But we'll have all the links in the show notes, and then you're on LinkedIn a little bit and Instagram. Check out ngvirtualassistant.com, Nadora Nadora.org,
Yeah.
which is cool, And thank you so much for being on. It's been so much fun.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I had a blast.
Well, and we'll see everyone next time. That was a great show. If you're enjoying Entrepreneurs Enigma, please review us in the podcast directory of your choice. Every review helps other podcast listeners find our show. If you're looking for other podcasts in the marketing space, look no further than the Marketing Podcast Network at marketingpodcasts.net. Goldstein Media hopes you have enjoyed this episode. This podcast is one of the many great shows on the MPN Marketing Podcast Network.